Hey there, Amplifiers. So what we're always talking about at Growth Amplifiers is looking for additional ways that we could provide more value to those we serve. And our guest today works with bookkeepers and accountants to help them tap into a completely different revenue stream, not completely different, and a revenue stream that can help provide more value to your existing customers. He's a CPA himself and helps educate others on what they could do to amplify their business. So without further ado, welcome to Growth Amplifiers, Merrill Taylor.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Well, thanks for coming and joining us today. And we were just chatting a moment ago, why some who are doing bookkeeping now should consider entertaining the idea of maybe introducing tax services to their existing clientele. And with your background, you've seen kind of the benefits of doing this. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. So I think in our industry, for some reason, there's a thought, or I like to call it a misconception, that somehow a client is better served by having somebody do their books and then a separate person doing their tax returns. I have a hard time seeing how that really plays out in the marketplace when a client now has to find two separate people, one person to do the books, one person to do their tax return. The person that does their taxes has to figure out all the stuff that's gone on with their books during the year and get up to speed on that so that they can do the tax return. And then the person doing their books is disconnected from the taxes. So as they're doing the books, they're not quite sure how that all plays into the tax returns. And then the tax preparer comes along and makes a bunch of changes to the books, and they don't know why they made those changes or what those changes are for. And so you end up having this disconnect where a client now has two separate people doing two different things, all financial and money related. However, they don't really mesh together, and you end up with just kind of a disconnect between those services.
Even worse is if they're tuned into two different frequencies and they're not in alignment themselves, it can cause even more challenges. So a bookkeeper or an accountant that's out there right now and they're thinking, maybe that's something I'd want to try, but what a tax tutor, how do you help them simplify that and make that something that they could relatively easily do without some of the other challenges they may run into?
Yeah, so Tax Tutor was developed and set up for the sole purpose of taking somebody who's completely unfamiliar with taxes and walking them through the entire process of this is how we prepare returns. We do everything from helping them pick what software that they should use, going through giving them an online course that has education about all the tax concepts and principles they're going to run into. We have a private Facebook group where they can go and ask questions anytime they run into issues. And then we have coaching calls as well, Zoom calls during the week where they can get on and ask a live question. We can share screens and go through everything. So it was set up in a way that really helps them go from not being a tax preparer at all to being comfortable and familiar with taxes and able to serve and help their clients with their tax returns.
Right. So somebody who maybe they've got the bookkeeping side down and they're thinking, I don't know how I'm going to get into taxes. I don't know the pathway. I don't really know how to get there. They can say, all right, well, this is a straightforward path to get them started and at least start taking those initial steps, and they could probably get a real good return on investment just from the clients that they're currently working with, and say, hey, by the way, did you know I could do this too?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's just helping them to reach out to the clients that they currently have and helping them prepare their tax returns. And they have that basis of doing the bookkeeping, which is important for doing the business returns, being able to know how to put together an income statement, balance sheet, things like that. And then it's just taking those financial statements and then putting them into a tax return.
So just with maybe a little bit more effort, you gain an additional skill, you can provide more value, you can have a better service, and you can make more money at the process. It's a win-win-win.
Right, yeah.
So for people who are tuning in and they're hearing that and they're like, maybe I do want to dip my toe in the water and learn more about this, where could they go and what could they do?
Yeah, there's a number of things that we offer. There's our website that has a webinar that goes through that. It's taxtutor.com. And then we also have a YouTube channel where we post content every week just talking about tax concepts, helping people learn more about taxes and get more comfortable with taxes. And that's at YouTube/taxtutor. You can find all those videos and everything there. So we just uploaded a new one just this morning. So yeah, we're constantly putting out content and helping people learn more about taxes, kind of demystifying the mystery that surrounds taxes.
Now, I would think you might run into some bookkeepers that they've thought about it before, but they may have a misconception that prevents them from moving forward. What's a common misconception that you may be able to help them overcome?
Yeah, the biggest misconception is they think that they need to be a CPA or an enrolled agent to prepare tax returns, which is not true at all. All they need to prepare returns for the federal side is a PTIN, a Preparer Tax Identification Number, and then having an EFIN is helpful. It's an e-file identification number so they can e-file returns. A PTIN takes them about 15 minutes to get. The EFIN takes a little longer since you have to submit fingerprints and things to the IRS for that one. But in reality, all you really need to prepare returns is a PTIN, and that takes 15 minutes and you're good to go. Some states have specific requirements, such as California, New York are special states like that. But generally, you can get up and going preparing tax returns pretty quickly.
Super cool. Well, if you're tuning in and ever thought about doing this, check it out. At the very least, you can go to taxtutor.com. Check it out, get some more information. The more skills and resources you have, the more value you provide, the more you can amplify your business. So thank you very much, Merrill, for connecting and contributing to Growth Amplifiers. We highly appreciate you.
Thank you.
To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.